Hey, what's up? This is Laidback Luke, DJ and producer, Kung Fu athlete, and family guy. You're probably an up-and-coming DJ or producer watching my vlogs. Someone that strives for success. But do you know what can potentially be on the other side of success? Listen up. Due to the pandemic, all of us are struggling mentally. And you know what? It's okay. It's important we talk about it. Now, I'm no mental health expert. I do have one coming up in this video, but this video is a reminder for me as well for when I go back on tour and back in gear. Before I share my story, I'd like to preface that I've always made and planned in quality time with my kids. Though the quantity of time was less, my relationship with my sons and daughter is very strong. Through trial and error, I'm more present and appreciative of the here and now. With that in mind, it is time to tell my story from the more grim point of view. It is 3 years ago this week that we lost Avicii. Rest in peace, my dear Tim. But with that, it raised the urgency to still keep on talking about mental health. But one thing I'd like to talk about specifically: what is real happiness? Because one could look at Avicii and think he had it made. He made incredible music that millions of people enjoyed. He had the fame, the money, the opportunities, and yet when you look at his documentary, you know that he wasn't happy. And Tim isn't the only one. There's many people out there that have reached a certain high level of success and who don't find happiness. And so what's about to follow is a warning, as possibly you, my dear viewer, and I grant it to all of you, will go on a similar journey to success. How I operate to the core ever since I was young is to have a dream or a goal and then just to work tremendously hard to achieve it, which has made me achieve a lot of things I set out for. But the interesting part is that whenever I reach that, another goal would pop up. It is safe to say that all my life I've pretty much moved the goalpost, but the toxic thing is that I always imagined finding happiness at the end of my goal. If only I achieve this, my life will be better. If I only achieve that, surely all my sorrows and problems will be gone. What this did to me is give me a tremendous amount of tunnel vision. And I'm naturally good at that, just canceling out the majority of the noise and just focus on the goals ahead. Possibly my biggest flaw in this is not being able to live in the moment, not really taking in the moment. In fact, I've always been looking forward towards the future. And there's a couple of terrible truths I found out when reaching goals, which I'll share with you in a bit. If I could record a video for my younger self, I would tell myself this: it will take you longer than expected. In fact, you will never just reach your goal at once, but it will come with multiple smaller successes. What I'd like to warn you about, young Luke, is about the 3 burnouts you'll get in the process of working hard towards your goals. Huge life-changing moments. And I know you, young Luke, would always say that burnouts would be for weak people. But dear naive Luke, you'll learn the hard way because of all the pressure you'll put onto yourself, all the pressure of the world actually. The good thing is you'll find your boundaries, the border just before burning out, to which you can keep on working upon before you really need to back off. But dear Luke, I wouldn't recommend you to put your goals before your young family. I know this means the world to you right now, but later in life you'll find out that family is in fact the most important thing in the world. Yes, you will hit success, but it will come at a big cost. Later in life you'll look back and reflect on all the quality time you missed out on. For instance, I know you love playing tennis with your dad and brother on the weekends, but yet you want this international DJ career. What do you think that this will do with the weekends of playing tennis? Do you realize that with your dream, you're about to miss a lot of friends and family's birthdays? Not just for a few years, but for a decade. Furthermore, at a certain point, you'll be flying around the globe so much, feeding this beast that hungers for shows, temporary happiness, and that never says no to an opportunity, that you will fall for the trap that is alcohol. you will come up with the brilliant idea of combining time off with work time, aka drinking, while you're DJing. And what do you think this will do with your family life? When you come home to your 2 small sons that will love to see you and be with you when you're off. Sure, there will be money in return, but my dude, you've never been about the money. Did you know, dear young Luke, that anything you make over 70K a year doesn't add up to your overall mental happiness? Knowing what I know now, I can safely say that no money can buy you the time you lose out on. But the good news is you will achieve the various goals you set out for. But tell me honestly, do you really believe those will give you the same gratification as living a full life, a mental, abundant life? A life of awareness, appreciation for the little moments, the oh so big moments actually. Being able to be in the actual moment, to simply enjoy life. Before we go any further, I do have an actual expert here, Benjamin Peterson, better known as the DJ and producer Kid Massive, who's become a mental health expert. I myself have become a fan of his podcasts and they've helped me on a mental level. Okay, Benjamin Peterson, aka Kid Massive, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So I've invited you here because I feel you are the mental health expert. In all of your videos, you are actually asking questions about the subject towards the viewers. And I feel there's kind of like a childlike sense of awareness there. Is that true that you're trying to instill this in your videos?
Yeah, so what I believe is you should never tell people what to do. You should always provide them, and I call it objective presentation. I'm simply just giving you the information. What you do with it is up to you.
In this video, we are actually looking for the answer of where does real happiness sit?
Happiness is something that we shouldn't strive for. We shouldn't look for happiness, because happiness, if you look at life, right? So this is a balanced life. This is happiness. This is sad. What we should aim for is to sit here in the middle, right? So happiness, boom, you're like this, right? It's a high, it's an emotional, it's up there. It's like, wow, right? But then you come back down. So when you're negative and you feel sad, you go down. So what we should strive for is balance. So by seeking happiness, if you don't attain it, you get upset. Seeking calm, you're not looking for anything. You're just looking to just be. You can actually enjoy everything because then you're not seeking anything. You're just in the moment and everything is just, this is good.
How would I be able, as a young kid right now, or someone that wants to have that big success and ultimate opportunities, all the money, wealth, and all that sort of thing, big goals, how could I arm myself from being hurt after they reach their goal?
My suggestion would be to really focus on you, the individual. Focus on yourself. The reason that people succumb to, especially the music industry, is very fake. Because everybody's trying to be something that they are not. And when you try to be something that you are not, you will ultimately go against everything in your being. Ask yourself, what makes you happy? What really makes you happy? But not in a monetary out there kind of way, but in here. Who are you? What is your character? What are your values? And make sure that you incorporate that into your music and make sure that you never forget that. So you can be rich and famous and still be balanced. It's possible, but only if you stay true to your nature, to who you are.
Such a powerful message. Shout out to Kid Massive for sharing that. Make sure to subscribe to his channel, The Mindset Sessions. I promise you, these can only do you good. I could go on and on revealing my path and pitfalls to my younger self, but I'd like to dive a bit deeper into the terrible truths of actually reaching my goals. Making the money that comes with that. Simply put, Biggie was right. More money more problems. Growing up, I was always under the impression that people with money didn't have a worry or a problem. But here's the truth. Apart from being able to buy stuff and pay for stuff, the problems don't go away. Apart from poverty, money doesn't solve anything on a mental level. Furthermore, becoming famous isn't convenient at all. Imagine your friend circle exploding by 100, but you don't actually know who these people are. In the most random spots and the most random moments you get recognized and it takes you off guard, you will still need to react patiently and nicely. But then to also get the amount of haters multiplied, maybe exponentially multiplied. I always thought that with success and popularity that the hate would go away, and I was absolutely naive to think that. But there is good news. On all levels in life, the same things will continue to make you happy. In regards to what I love doing, this is still the process of making music, being in the studio and loving creating something from nothing. And no matter how big, small, legendary or aspiring you are as a DJ and producer, being in that state of ultimate creativity and enjoyment will never change. Just as long as you keep on tapping into your younger self who was so passionate to start this and do this in the first place. And for the longest time on tour, I was longing to be home, to be stationary. And that is something you have too right now, a home, a safe hub. Traveling places and seeing the world is wonderful, and I've actually been absolutely blessed to do so. But my dear viewer, you are not missing out. There's actually people in the world that want to fly to where you are living right now. Have you ever thought about that? The grass is never greener. In short, everything you need to be happy is actually right there with you already. I am not saying not to aim high or dream big. By all means, I wish you all the success, money, and fame in the world. What I'm trying to say is to not lose yourself in it, to not forget to enjoy life amidst reaching your goals, and to not be shocked when you actually reach your end goal that it wasn't what you were expecting. I've been reading this book called Ego is the Enemy, and in it, it says something powerful. Strive to be humble in your aspirations, gracious in your success, and resilient in your failures. It happens, maybe more often than you think. You hit success and you still feel like a failure. It is that I want to arm you for. With all that being said, I want to thank all of you for the continuous support. It's one of the reasons why I love what I do so much, and I really enjoy that you enjoy my tracks. I get a lot of energy out of real connections and interactions with you, even though it's mostly digital. And keep in mind that I see and appreciate all of you. And so let's keep the conversation going, and please know that it's okay to not be okay. And so for mental health, check out this website as well, the Hope for the Day website, link down below, where you can get involved, get educated about anything that has to do with mental health. I would love to see your guys' stories in the comments, and maybe we can even help each other out a little bit. All right, so stay tuned for plenty more videos coming up. Do not forget to subscribe and hit that like button as well. And I will catch you back here on the next one. Until then, L's up. Rave safely, and salute.